Okay, time for a new video, and whether you are somebody new to my channel or you are returning to my channel to watch this video, it is greatly appreciated. As always, I'm filming this video in one go, so if I stumble over my words moving forwards, apologies about that, and also apologies if the quality of this video is not too great either. If there's any lag, anything like that at all, sadly it can't be helped, and hopefully it is not much of an issue for you. This is yet another Eurovision 2024 related video here on my channel, and another sort of reaction video as well, because new Shervy! That's enough of that. Yes, can you believe it? Melodifestivalen is nearly upon us once again. Of course, Melfest is the Swedish selection method for the Eurovision Song Contest, and maybe there's a little bit of extra attention on Melfest this year because of course Sweden are hosting the actual ESC this May for a third time in Malmö. As always, you're welcome to let me know your thoughts on anything I discussed today by leaving a comment down below, and as always there are links in the description to my other social media pages. Check them out if you so wish. So it says here Melfest gets going on February the 3rd, and there are 5 heats or semi-finals which conclude on March the 2nd, followed by a final on March the 9th. The format has changed slightly because it always seems to. It says 30 entries are involved in this year's competition, which is 2 more than in previous editions. Each heat will have 6 songs in it. The top 2, as always, will go through to the final automatically, and the songs finishing 3rd and 4th will go into a run-off vote at the end of the 5th heat. So I imagine that 5th heat, which is in Karlstad, might be longer than the other shows. Certainly all of the other heats, because you've got all of the artists performing as usual in that show, but then you've got this run-off vote. Surely they won't all be performing again. I imagine it will just be a recap. You vote for the 2 or however many you like. 2 go through, job done. I really don't know how that's going to work. I don't really care, but that's how it is this year. And as it says, the top 2 songs in the run-off vote will then progress to the final, which will consist of 12 songs. This run-off vote replaces the semi-final, which itself had replaced the second chance round 2 years ago. Yes. Wonderful stuff. And in the final, it will be a 50% public vote, 50% jury vote. And I believe in the heats, the voting format is the same with those age range things. I don't really know. I imagine that's staying. Anyway, Heat 1 this weekend is in Malmö, at the Malmö Arena, where of course Eurovision will be in a few months' time. Heat 2 is in Gothenburg, Heat 3 is in Växjö, Heat 4 is in Eskilstuna, Heat 5 is in Karlstad, as I mentioned earlier, and then of course Stockholm plays host to the final. 2,624 applications were received by the broadcaster. Such a huge number. Some countries barely manage triple figures, and you've got Sweden over here managing over 2,500. So it's no wonder really that they do well every year, because they want to win and the interest is high, and I fully expect Sweden to challenge for the win again this year on home soil. We've known the lineup for quite some time. We've known the names of the songs and the songwriters for quite some time, so it's now time to listen to snippets of the 6 songs that we will hear in full this weekend. There's lots of shows happening across Europe over the next few days. I won't be watching any show live, I don't think. Possibly the voting of 1 or 2 shows, I don't know. But I will be watching full performances and other bits and pieces days after the events actually take place. So with all of these performances, I'll probably just watch, you know, bits and pieces early next week. Anyway, I'm starting to ramble. We have Adam Woods with Supernatural. He's been involved before. I think he was on stage with Jon Henrik Fjällgren last year or the year before. Samir and Victor are involved. We know about them, of course. Melina Borglöf, who's perhaps the most unknown name here. Elisa Lindström, been involved before, never really fared that well though. Lisa Ajax, who I think is just fantastic. She's got such a wonderful voice. She was with Niello a few years ago, if you remember, and a lot of people said that she carried that performance. I'm inclined to agree. She had I Don't Give Her, Torn, which absolutely was underrated. didn't even make the final, I believe. My Heart Wants Me Dead. I'm sure she had another song as well. I can't quite remember, but she's been involved a whole bunch of times. She is pregnant at the moment, and I think by the time May comes around, she'll either have given birth or be close to giving birth. So if she was to win Melfest, I'm not sure how that would work going to Eurovision. But there we are, she's back, fantastic. And of course, Smashing to Pieces, who finished third last year with 6 Feet Under. This rock number, really refreshing to see a song like that do well in Melfest. And I think a lot of people are expecting big things from them once again. In terms of the songwriters, so does it really matter at this moment in time? It'll come up on screen anyway. I'm on the SVT Play website, where there are 1 minute long snippets of all of these contenders, and the way I usually do this is by going through them in order of the song I'm least interested in on paper to the song that I'm most interested in on paper. So we're starting with Min Melodie, My Song by Melina Borglov, which she's co-written along with 2 other people, one of whom is Thomas Geirsson, because he cannot stay away. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on these snippets. I'm interested to know, especially if you're Swedish. If there is any lag, like I said earlier, many apologies for that. I'll make a few notes on here if necessary. Here we go. Melfest can be quite predictable. You look at the names involved, you can sort of guess, perhaps quite accurately, who's going to go through to the final, who's going to finish 3rd and 4th. So I expect Smashing to Pieces and maybe Lisa Ajax to qualify automatically for the final this weekend, and then I expect Adam Woods and Samir and Victor to go through to the runoff vote second chance round thing. Anyway, let's finally do this. Min Melodie! Yeah, what I'm watching won't be in the bottom corner of the video you're watching. That's the way it usually is. Apologies for that. It's a ballad, acoustically driven, in Swedish. Oh yeah, nice. Quite cute. She's got a cute voice. Harmless stuff. I'm not sure it's going to build up to much though. Bit of piano. You Are My Melody. Okay, well, that was Min Melodie by Melina. Okay, very pared back, a very simple, quite cutesy, sweet ballad. Immediately I'm thinking that might struggle, but I think a lot of people will also be fairly charmed by it. Next up is Elisa Lindström with Forever Yours. Elisa, of course, who's been involved numerous times in the past, and this has been written by a bunch of people, including Thomas Geirsson, because as I said a minute ago, he can't stay away. Here we go. Oh, this is very 90s pop. Oh yeah. You sort of know where this is going, don't you? This is very Steps. Oh Christ, yeah. They'll cover this in a year or two. Yeah, quite an emphatic chorus maybe. Just an alright pop song. I mean, it sort of writes itself, a song like that. Fairly uplifting, a fairly powerful chorus, but otherwise it sounds like a pretty ordinary pop song, so I'm not sure about that song's chances. Let's take a look at Adam Woods next with Supernatural. He's co-written this. Let's see what he's bringing to the table. The first song of this year's Melfest. Ooh, okay. Minimal instrumentation here. Okay, yeah. You know that this might have a more explosive chorus. Oh, man. Da 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 da. Da da da. Easy to go along with. Dance pop, I guess. Okay, it's going to cut off just before it really picks up. Okay, I don't want to sound harsh, but again, we sort of maybe expected something like that from him, and I feel like I've heard it before. It's not exactly super fresh, but that's okay, because Sweden do well every year, so it doesn't matter what they send, you could argue. Okay, I'm sure there's better quality to come. Let's take a look at Samir and Victor with Hela Varden Väntar. The whole world watches something or other. Anyway, it's in Swedish. Here we go. How old are these guys now? 30? Bit of acoustic guitar here. Oh, this is a carefree song. Nice, it's in Swedish. Oi oi. Oh, sing-along stuff. Sounds ever so similar to Groupie, one of their older songs. At least in that chorus, maybe it was the instrumentation there, it sounded ever so similar to Groupie, in my opinion. Anyway, not bad. Like I said, it seems like a fairly uplifting, carefree song. That leaves the two songs that I'm most excited for, and we'll listen to Smash Into Pieces first, with Heroes Are Calling, Jimmy Turnfeldt, yes, big songwriter. Linnea Deb, yeah. Okay. I'd say this is playing it a bit more safe. Not the most riveting melody, but I love the slight grit that we have here, the moodiness to the guitars, the drum, this electro thing going on. If you see what I mean. Yeah, really nice. But based on that snippet which flew by, I would say, yeah, that's maybe not weaker, but I think that's more of a accessible, maybe. I'm not really sure what word I'm looking for here. I think it's playing it safe, safer than their last entry, but it's still one of the best ones here so far, and there's only one left, and it's of course the Queen herself, Lisa Ajax, with Awful Liar, which has been co-written by many people, not Lisa herself by the looks of it, and Victor Krona. So let's give this a listen. Come on, Lisa. piano. She's such a good singer. She deserves a winning song. Building. This is nice. Not massively original, but it's nice. Okay, yeah. This is immediately striking me as a song that's going to build up into a very, maybe emotionally charged final chorus. Yeah, on the whole, I wouldn't say the quality is superb. I'd say we've got maybe 50 shades of vanilla. But that's okay. That's okay, because there wasn't really anything there that struck me as poor, which is, you know, quite nice. So, based on that, and I'm aware this video is very messy, but get used to this for the next few weeks with these Melfest reaction type videos. Lisa and Smash Into Pieces, this is my personal ranking based on these 1 minute snippets. Then I'd say, Samir and Victor, and then I suppose it probably would be Adam, followed by Elisa, and then Melina, I'm afraid to say. And I think the results might actually be exactly the same. Smash Into Pieces maybe winning this heat, then Lisa, Samir and Victor, maybe the other way around there, I'm not entirely sure, doesn't really matter. Adam Woods, I think that's got second charts round written all over it maybe. Elisa and Melina missing out. But who knows what might happen? I think one of the exciting things about Melfest is what can happen. Remember a few years ago, on paper, Cornelia Jacobs, nobody really thought much of her name, perhaps, when we saw it on the lineup. But then she had the winning song, which was fantastic. She sort of came out of nowhere, perhaps. And who knows, that could happen with somebody else this year. We'll just have to wait and see. Anyway, that is my fairly uneventful reaction to those 1 minute long snippets of the Melfest Heat 1 songs, which will be heard in full in Malmö, this year's Eurovision host city, this weekend. And that's it. I will be filming videos like this every week, reacting to snippets of the other Melfest contenders as and when we get them. And next week as well, I think we've got San Remo starting, and before you know it, there'll be there's MGP this weekend, you've got DMGP soon, FDC, that'll be here before you know it, loads of other national finals and what have you. It's really, really starting to ramp up, and let's see what happens next. Time for me to shut up, I think. Until next time, take care of yourselves, stay safe, and let me know what you thought about these songs. Bye for now.